Welcome to Why?
Why?
Because
Because
we
we
said so.
said so.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Sonia.
Okay, so I hope y'all are having a wonderful week. This is Hump Day. So,
Woohoo!
yeah, I know, right? I know. So, can you see this little thing right here, son?
What?
Me, right here. You can't see it? Good.
No.
You can't.
What
Good.
is it?
Okay. I should have asked you that before we got on, but all of a sudden I looked down and I saw it and I'm like, anyway, it's nothing. Keep going.
Okay. Keep
Um,
going.
yeah. So anyway, so go ahead and introduce what we're gonna chat about today.
Y'all. Woo wee. Let me put this up here. I'm getting ready to put this up here. And I'm going to put it on here because, guys, I'm going to put it where you guys can see it. And I'm going to leave it up here because we always have people who come in late and they always say, well, post it, post it, post it. So we're going to leave it up here. So if you do come in late, you can still see what's happening. So this
Okay. Let me
one
say
young,
this real
oh, go
quick.
ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, she's getting her little internet stuff together. Look at
Oh,
her getting
yeah.
fancy.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyway, go ahead. I just had to throw that in.
Yes, I'm learning as I go. So this young man, he wrote this letter into Reddit. And as JV told you all, she is a Reddit fan. And
Love
on
Reddit.
Reddit, they have this thing called AITI, which stands for Am I the Hoe? So I'm going to read this letter, y'all. And when I tell y'all this is something special, this is going to take, let me tell y'all, this is something that's going to take some unpacking. So here we go. My situation went from bad to worse in a matter of a week, and I don't know where else to turn. I need to know if I was wrong. Possibly a validation thing because life is effing dumb right now. My wife and I have been together for 8 years, and she just gave birth to our first and last baby 2 months ago. Up until my wife got pregnant, my mom loved her. I'm not sure WTF is wrong with my mom or why the switch happened, but after my wife got pregnant, my mom started being very clingy to me and started avoiding my wife at all costs. Told everyone she wasn't excited about the pregnancy, etc. I threatened to go no contact with her when my wife was about 7 months along, and after that, she snapped out of it for the most part and stopped being so ignorant. The comments 100% stopped, at least, though she still was clinging to me. Now, a week ago, my mom, my sister, and my sister's husband and my sister's daughter, 12, came over for dinner. I prepared the meal. Before my wife could eat anything, our daughter got fussy, so my wife excused herself to go feed the baby and get her down to sleep. I thought I prepared enough food, but apparently not because my niece was still starving. She's 5'5", y'all. This child is 5'5" and 190 pounds. Mm. I haven't seen her in a year, and she was not that size then, so I didn't exactly portion in an extra 3 helpings for a child. So it's
Not
on
three
me.
heifers, sir. You're wrong.
Yes.
He's wrong.
I I apologized and told her that I hadn't made any more and offered her crackers as I was putting my wife's portion in the fridge. After that, I just went outside with my sister's husband to smoke a cigarette and shoot the breeze. Didn't think anything of it. But then I hear yelling from my inside. When I walk in, my wife and my mom were screaming at each other. Apparently, my mom, who saw me put my wife's food away, gave my niece my wife's portion of food. As I was walking inside, I heard my mom say, "Looks like you can afford to skip a meal," and slap my wife's stomach. Right as soon as I get ready to step in, literally fast walking toward them, yelling enough, my wife winds back and punches my mother square in the face and drops her. The whole house went silent outside of my mom crying and holding her face. I tell everyone to get the F out. Immediately, everyone leaves, and my wife just turns toward the counter and leaves with her hands on the counter and face down, eyes closed. I look at my wife and I say, "You too. Leave
Jesus.
now." She says, "Really?" She scrambles to
Really?
point. I say a clip, "Yup." She packs up her and the baby and leaves. I text her that night and I say I just need space. I need to decompress and come to terms with what just happened. She doesn't respond. The next
As
5
she
days,
should.
I'm texting and calling and I get nothing. She shows up here today, so 8 days later, and hands me divorce paperwork and my baby and says, "Here, you have a bit to hang out with her while I pack. Where I'm breastfeeding, you can work out a visitation schedule that is either at your place or my mother's until she will take a bottle." I told her that's not what I want. I don't want to separate. I just needed time to process her punching my mother in the face. She said, "You needing time to process gave me time to process the fact that I
Thank you.
refuse to be
We
in this
are processing. Anyway,
okay, this situation any longer. I defended myself. I initially felt bad and remorseful, but you making me leave when I needed you made me see more clear. I'm done. I'm sorry
period.
for what I did, but there's no fixing this. She refused to speak to me at all the rest of the time that she was here. My house feels so empty, and I don't know what to do. AITA for making her leave after she punched my mom. I just needed some space. Now, look, y'all, he did an update. Let me show y'all what this man said. The update. This is just even stupider. He said, "For the record, I am team wife. My mom deserved it wholeheartedly, and I've blocked her completely from my life. I literally just needed time to process what happened. My wife is a whole lot of things. Violent is not one of them. So this came completely out of left field and would not have happened without her being provoked. After it all happened, my mom sent me a text saying, 'See, I told you she was crazy. That fat bee doesn't belong in our life.' I'm willing to bet she purposely tried setting my wife off. So, no, I'm on my wife's side 100%. I truly just needed to process what happened, and my wife took it as me giving up on her, not defending her, and throwing her and our baby out, which did essentially happen because I knew she had to take the baby with her when I kicked her out. The reason why my dad was stupid abusive, I was beat. My sisters and brother were beat. My mom was put in the hospital multiple times. It took years for police to enforce restraining orders, and he finally died in 2013. Violence scares the F out of me. I clam up and get anxious around violence of any kind. Now, my wife knows this, and she too grew up with a violent dad, and she gets just as anxious and panicky around violence. Her punching my mom in the face triggered an anxious response, and I needed her gone in that moment. I needed it far from me. I don't know why I didn't just leave. I could have, but in that moment, I just let my emotions and fear run the whole circus and told everyone to get out, her included. My mom did slap her first. I guess for some reason I was seeing my wife's punch as being worse than the slap. It wasn't a hard slap, but my wife did kind of wince. Looking back on it now, she was fine following, but my mom was bleeding. Split her eyebrow open in good shape. Am I the a-hole? I'm going to try to go kiss A now.
Girl, bye. First off, let me start from the bottom and work my way up. Both of them came from trauma backgrounds, violence, and
Mm-hmm.
all of that, right? They both of their dads were a-holes and they abused them. So, him as the man, he takes the cowering position, and the wife takes the I don't think so, this won't happen again. Sir, your roles need to be reversed, obviously.
Right.
Because one thing about a woman, in a marriage. We want our husbands to protect us.
Exactly.
Period. If you can't protect me, I don't care who it's against. Your mama, your daddy, the pastor, the Pope. I don't care
Anybody.
who it is. Sir, your role is protector. The fact that you came in, okay, come in screaming enough, enough, I get it. But then when you put them out, now you're gonna put me out of my own house with our baby? Sir,
6, the baby, 2 months
two
old.
months
This
old.
baby just gave birth.
2 months old. First off, she touched me. She shouldn't have touched me, but you hit me in my stomach. I just gave birth. Sis, you out of line. My daddy used to say, don't play fighting, because when they hit you, I mean, when you hit them and they hit you back, don't sit back and say they hit me harder than I hit them. That ain't how that goes, sis. So when she hit her in her stomach and she clocked her and knocked out and split that eyebrow, it's how fighting goes, sis. Everybody ain't the same. The fact that this man literally put his wife, you could tell she was already upset that it even happened. She went over to the counter. I mean, I could just see it. I could see it. She went over to the counter, put her hand down, closed her eyes, and like, what the heck just happened? And then you look and go, you too?
You too.
Who else here? Because I know you ain't talking
Right.
about me. You too? Oh, sir. She did exactly as she should have done. Packed
Think
her
about
stuff.
this. That mother gave away this woman's food. Now, this woman is hungry. This woman is
Breastfeeding.
insulted in her own home. This woman says to her, you can skip a meal, but you're going to give food to a 5'5", 190-pound,
I wouldn't care if the
12-year-old.
look. I don't care how much the
It's
child weighs. She could
so
weigh
much was
5 pounds.
wrong in that.
The fact that you went and got my food that you saw my husband
Exactly.
put away for me, you're disrespectful. Get out of my house and don't come back until you learn how to respect me. And if you can't respect me, you can't come back. Period. Now, I would not like to see, I mean, I wish they would not have hit back and forth. Okay. I tried to
Yeah.
put myself in that situation thinking, now if that was my mother-in-law and she hit me, would I hit her back? I probably would not. I probably would not. But we have to understand this lady's emotions are high. She just had a
Right.
baby.
She's still in what they call it,
Yeah,
post.
postpartum. Her
Right.
emotions are all over the place. You know, ma'am, you hit my stomach. You took my food. You disrespected me. It. I'm sorry. Whatever she got, she got. I mean, I just no. I
And it
mean, I
didn't
don't
start
think
that night. From
no
his letter, this
at
started
all,
once she got pregnant.
at all, at all.
And I'm like,
And the
this is your
fact,
grandbaby. Now, remember, this lady is carrying your grandbaby. Why are you having an issue when this lady is carrying your grandbaby? Did you not want her to have? Did this now make it seem so much more real now that your son is actually married now because he has this child coming?
right? I think that's what it is. I really think that she thought it won't last, but then when she got that baby,
Right.
now it's like now we're really connected.
Yeah.
Period. Like she's not going anywhere. So she unraveled. I mean, she became crazy. You know, and the fact that for him to see that he was wrong, he had to go to Reddick,
Right.
sir, bye bye. I mean, like there's no, and I'm so anti-divorce unless it's abuse. I mean, I'm like, my thought process is you can work anything out unless it's abuse involved. Man, this is abuse as far as I'm concerned.
But you
Goodbye,
know
sir.
what? I really do honestly think that with some counseling that they may be able to work it through because he did see that
He's a
his
wimp.
mom was wrong. No, but
He's
it
a
would be
wimp.
different to me. To me, if he didn't see that his mom was wrong and he came to her and he said, "No, baby," da 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 da. See, he still has traumas he hasn't dealt with that
Not my
maybe
problem.
I'm just saying now, if they love each other, maybe with some counseling, they may be able to work through it. Because there and it's not just the mothers, there are fathers that are very intrusive in their daughters' relationships with their
Right.
husbands because they're
Exactly.
just clingy. And it's so let me tell you. So I asked my son, so me and my son had this conversation. And his
Mm-hmm.
first thought, this was so all he heard was somebody hit me. And his first thought was, oh no, ain't nobody hitting my mama. But see, then once we started talking about it, and I said,
Right.
hey, I said, think about it. I, number one, would never be that mother because I don't care enough about your relationship. I'm too busy trying to live my life and get on up out of here. I'm not gonna
Right.
be all up in your business anyway.
Right.
That I'm gonna be that mother. I said, but think about it. That's your family. That's your house over there now. You know, I shouldn't even be over there doing it. I shouldn't be putting my hands on your wife. I should
Exactly.
not even be coming up in your house doing. I should have
With
got
an
up and went
attitude.
and got your food and gave it to anybody. I should
Girl.
never be disrespecting your wife. So we talked
Period.
about it because at first, like his first instinct was, "Oh, you put your hand on my mama," you
Right.
know. And I'm like, us mamas need to be very careful when we raising our boys because
I
I
agree.
bet you Ryan would be like, "No, this girl didn't just hit my mama."
Yeah,
You
of
got
course.
and
Right.
we have to make them understand.
But let me say, we had this discussion here because if y'all don't know, I live in the house with my daughter, her husband, and their children. It's her house,
Right.
their house. I live here with them. And so first off, I don't get involved in any of their stuff. Period. I don't care what it is. I don't get involved. And so
Exactly.
we had a conversation, and when my son was here and we were talking, and Ryan said, look, if y'all were in here fighting, I would just say, hey, what's going on? He said, but I'm not getting involved. He said, because because I know how this is gonna work out. And and I love my brother. I love he calls Trey his brother. I love my brother. I love my sister. I'm not getting involved. Now I might break y'all. I'm gonna break y'all apart and say y'all tripping, but I'm
Right.
not. Of course, Jasmine was like, "What, boy? You better." And he's like, "Absolutely not. I'm not getting involved." You know, but you have to respect people's homes. Period.
Exactly.
That was
Exactly.
so disrespectful on so many levels.
So many levels.
So many levels. And for me, and sound like for this lady, she's a strong female.
Yes.
Period. And the fact that she's a strong female and her man's a wimp, it would never work. It's not gonna work. He's a wimp. I
I'm
mean,
just thinking about the
period.
baby, Jamie. The
That's
baby needs
girl.
both their
Hey, you know
parents.
what?
I'm just
That's
thinking
why
about the
there's laws in
baby.
place. That's why there's laws in place. He had, like she said, and she was cool. Girlfriend said, look, you're gonna have visitation.
Yes,
She
she
said
did.
she was straight. She said, as soon as I start breast, she said, come visit the baby at my mom. We'll meet at my mom's. Once I finish breastfeeding, there you go. You could take the baby. But you're done with me, sir. And I don't blame her. Look, I need a man that's going to protect me. I'm not going to be putting myself in situations where you always got to fight for sure. But if a situation comes to me, I don't want you hiding behind me. Like, oh, I'm traumatized. I'm hiding behind my wife. Man, bad, get off me. I can't do that. I'm sorry. That is not my style. I could not deal with a man like that. I know me. I know my personality. I would crucify him. Crucify. I mean, like it would not work. I would be like, you're a wimp. We get into an argument, I'd be like, boom. Like I would just be. I'd
And
be poor.
I'm sure even with the cast, and I'm just trying to be optimistic for them, but I'm sure that every time they got into an argument or something, or she looked at him, she probably still,
Right.
she'd still think about that night that he
She has no
put
respect for
her
him now.
out the house.
She has no respect for him now. I mean, like,
Exactly.
it's not gonna work. I have no respect for you, sir. You are a wimp. Like, I cannot even. Like, I don't care if you were such and such's boyfriend and you're a wimp. I'd be like, girl, that's her man. I don't care. My man can't be a wimp. I have too strong of a personality. Girl, it wouldn't work. I would torture him. It would be bad on both our ends. I would just torture the poor man, because I know I could. So why would I even be with you, sir? Uh-uh. And yeah, it just wouldn't work. It's so sad. I mean, I wish it would. It could work, but it wouldn't work. She's not gonna handle that. And she did the best thing. She took her time, she thought about it, and then she went and got the papers and she served him and said, here you go, sir, sign the papers. It's over.
Wow.
I needed time to think. Well, now you're gonna have a whole lifetime to think. Enjoy. Because I'm done. Go be with your mama. I don't know what to tell you, but you can't be here with me. I'm done. There's no way. I don't know. Men out there, one thing, women, we as women, we like we need our man. It's not even a like. A
Security.
man is supposed to be a protector for us in all things. You all are our security blanket. If I cannot count on you and I gotta call my daddy, boy, bye. I'm like, I don't need you. I don't need you at all. I need men to step up and be men, and that's in everything. Men is supposed to be head of household. If I can't count on you to cover all of that, then I don't need you. Seriously. And she don't need her baby around seeing her weak daddy. I mean,
That
really.
is true.
I mean, seriously, that was sad to me. I read that and this last thing, the fact that he had to go to Reddick and ask, was he the a-hole? Sir, you still didn't see the error of your ways until people, and you saw the responses on
I
Reddit.
saw the responses.
At 99.99999, everybody said, sir, you're crazy. I can't believe you put your wife and your child out of your home. Everybody said that. And then well, let me give an update. We were abused. Sir, come on now, go get therapy. I don't know what to tell you to do, but you got to work on it. Don't get married if you're not ready to protect your wife. That's my 30 seconds of advice.
Okay, well then we don't even have to go through that part then. Well, we'll just go ahead and say, guys, that's the conclusion of our podcast for this evening. We want to thank you all for joining us as always.
No, you didn't give your 30 seconds of. You didn't do yours.
Oh, well, my 30 seconds is, yeah, he was wrong and he knows it. I'm always the optimist, hoping people can work through things. But, when you lose respect for someone, it is very hard to bounce back from it, even with counseling. But I do think that they both do need some type of counseling. She needs it so she can learn to trust and love again. He needs it before he gets into another relationship again so that he can move past the hurt that is keeping him from being able to be the man that he can be. Because he doesn't seem like he's a bad guy. He just seems like he has traumas that he needs to get past. So that's my 30 seconds.
So let me ask y'all this. What would y'all do? What would you all do if your mother-in-law slapped you on your stomach, whether you had a baby or not? What would you do?
Leave it in the comments.
Ooh.
We want to know what.
Because I really want to know. I want to know what would you all do.
And mind you, she's been treating you bad.
Yeah, she's been treating you bad. For me, I probably wouldn't hit her back. Because I think wait, let me say this. I would not, if I have the husband like I have, my husband's deceased for those that may not know. Having the husband that I had in my life, I would not have hit his mother back. Because I respect my husband over everything. So I know that would hurt him. But having the husband like this man, I'd hit them all. I'm slaying the whole
thing. Are you gonna hit everybody?
I'm hitting the sister and the brother, the niece. All of y'all get out of my house.
So look, the way my niece tell me, my nieces always laugh at me when they say when I'm hangry, ain't no telling what I might do. So I don't know, because I'm hangry. I just finished putting that baby down. who knows what might happen in that house? So I don't know. I might just start doing this.
Right, just start swinging at everybody.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, let us know in the comments, what would you all do? What would you do if this was you?
Yep.
So anyway,
as
we
always,
thank
guys,
you all.
we ask you to like, share, and invite others to join us. We will
Yes.
be back next week, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Why would we be back, Jamie?
Because we
said so.
Why?
That's okay.
Because we said so.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye-bye.